Okay, question number 5C. We're dealing with rational expressions. So when I look at this big, crazy expression, um, we got fractions and fractions and more fractions. And anybody who doesn't like fractions at all, this can be really intimidating, especially under the idea of just where do I start? So my recommendation is focus on one thing at a time and keep it simple. So, what I want to worry about right now is I just look at the numerator, nothing else. I'm not dealing with the denominator. I'm looking at this numerator and saying, how can I deal with this little fraction right here and make it right? So, I've got x to the fourth in this denominator, I've got y squared over here. So, what I'm going to do is just multiply this whole side by y squared. So I have y squared over x to the fourth. On this side, I'm going to multiply by x to the fourth. So I'm going to have x to the fourth over x to the fourth y squared. So my denominator is x to the fourth y squared. My numerator is y squared minus x to the fourth. So now the whole numerator for this big ugly fraction is at least cleaned up a little bit. So now I'm going to write it as divided by the other ugly fraction. So here, when I look, x to the fourth, x squared y, and y squared, I know that if I have x to the fourth and y squared all the way across, that's my least common multiple. So that's what I want to make for my common denominator. X to the fourth y squared. So of course, to multiply this, I have to multiply by y squared. So my numerator is just y squared. When we go to the second part of the fraction, I've got x squared, so I'm multiplying by x squared again, and a y. So plus 2x squared y. And finally, over here, I've got the y squared, but I don't have any x's, so I've got to multiply this by x to the fourth. And in two quick steps, now this is a little more manageable. And remember what we talked about, divided by. If I just tried to divide this by this, it's an absolute nightmare. So what I want to think about is, how can I make this into 1 by multiplying by the reciprocal? So all I'm going to do is take this x to the fourth y squared, put it in the numerator. Take my entire expression in the numerator, move it to the denominator, and now I'm going to multiply that by our second fraction. Now, this still looks really big and ugly, so I want to remember, how can I make some things go away? So the first thing is x to the fourth y squared, x to the fourth y squared. These are absolutely identical, so those will cancel immediately. So now I've got y squared minus x to the fourth, and I've got this expression in my denominator. This is actually difference of perfect squares. This is y plus x squared times y minus x squared. Another thing I notice when I look at the denominator is I've got a squared here and I've got an x to the fourth over here, which really suggests that this could be some kind of a perfect square situation, and it actually is. This is a perfect square trinomial. So this is really y plus x squared times y plus x squared. Now we go back to that idea again. If there's the same thing above each other, like y plus x squared, they cancel. And when we simplify it, we've just got y minus x squared over y plus x squared. And that's how we finish question 5.